If you're 40 years old, you make an average income, and you start putting 15% of your income away, plus or minus a match in a good Roth IRA, in good mutual funds that give you market rates of return, you're going to be a multimillionaire easily in 25 years, and mathematically. And so, but you've got to do it. You can't just talk about it. It's not theory. Are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to change your life where you say, never again? I'm going to control the controllables to where I'm the little pig in the brick house. Never again. That may be the only thing you get out of this crisis. And if it is, you got enough. People don't change because they don't have a real reason to change. They don't think it's worth the effort. It's worth the sacrifice. It's a pain gain thing. Is there enough gain for the pain if I've got to engage in this? And so we tend to take the easy button. We tend to go the easy route. I think it's just human nature. I'm the same way. I do the same thing. If I don't make myself stop and as an intellectual act of the will say, wait a minute, I need to make better decisions on this particular subject, and so I get a better result. And people, you don't normally do that. It's an act of the will. Well, any hard line I take with anyone is because I believe that's what's best for them. I'm not doing it just to make a stand. I'm saying this is if you were my best friend, if you were my little brother, my little sister, this is what I would tell you to do. And so that's not ever changed from the day we got on the air. And there are some tactical things that we don't take hard lines on, but then there's some principles and some processes that are now proven. And so, I've got 8 grandkids, and if one of them's standing on the edge of the roof, I need to take a hard line because the law of gravity works every time. And it's going to cause harm to them if they don't get away from the edge of the roof. And I love them, and I don't want them to get hurt. So that's a hard line, but the law of gravity is a principle. We can count on it. There's a principle that when you give all your money to Citibank or you give all your money to Ford Motor Company, you don't have any money. And that's what debt does. It steals your most powerful wealth-building tool, which is your income. And so that's a principle, and I don't really need to think about that anymore. And it was certainly influenced, and initially when we started teaching this stuff almost 40 years ago when we went broke, that influences it. But these days it's more influenced by tens of millions of people that have followed what we asked them to do, and it caused a positive result. They've succeeded because of it. Well, I've got a degree in finance and specialization in real estate. I was going to be the real estate guy. And I started buying real estate and nothing down, flipped this house before Chip and Joanna were born. And so we've been doing this a long time. And I went broke because I was so highly leveraged. I borrowed so much money, and the bank called our notes. We had $4 million worth of real estate, and we lost it all, starting from nothing. And so I was 28 years old at the bottom, and brand new baby, a toddler, and a marriage hanging on by a thread. And we lost everything. We were bankrupt. And in the process, I had met God on the way up, and I got to know God on the way down. And someone said, hey, here's what the Bible says about money. Now, that was weird to me because I was a hell-raising, beer-drinking hillbilly. And what the Bible got to do with money? And so I'm looking at these proverbs, and they sounded like my grandmother, like live on less than you make, and have a plan, and, basic common sense, right? And so I started living our lives that way, and just because we figured out that what we've been doing obviously didn't work, right? So we needed a new plan. And then we started sharing it with some people, and, that was 30 years ago. 78% of the airline miles are never redeemed. Hello, okay?
Yep.
And the data tells us, any of us that do any digital marketing, and I've got a large firm, and we do a lot of digital marketing, we know that friction decreases spending. If it's harder to navigate the website to buy, you lose people. They abandon the cart, right? Yeah. And so you abandon purchases where there are friction. The less friction there is, the more increase in spending there is. And there's tons of data, tons of pieces of research out there that show that a credit card versus cash, nobody carries cash, but a credit card versus cash is 12 to 21% more spending. And if you add to it, I'm getting points, Thank you, Samuel L. Jackson, right? And I'm getting points. What's in your wallet? Then I'll even increase my spending yet more. And so, and there's even examples of that in the commercials. They're advertising, I'll pay for this for you, so I get the points. And so you gave up $1 to get a penny? How's that increase wealth? And then the second piece of this is, so you do increase spending is the biggest problem because it's less friction. And let's go all the way over to like Apple Pay. You don't even see an expenditure. It's just you wave a wand and stuff happens, right? And so that's the ultimate in psychological lack of friction. And so you're going to spend more, you're going to spend more, you're going to spend more. It's easy. Just wave a wand, wave a wand. And I do too. I mean, we were on a cruise the other day, Sharon and I, my wife, and your room key buys everything on the boat, right? Because they don't have any transactions, not even your credit card, not even your debit card, not anything, no cash. And so, I'm just buying stuff and I'm like, I teach this, it's crazy. So anyway, that's thing one. Then thing two is, there's no credible data that says using points causes wealth. As a matter of fact, we did the largest study of millionaires ever done at Ramsey Research, 10,167 of them. And the number of them that said I became a millionaire because of my points is 0. None. And so it's a game, and you're playing with a multi-billion-dollar company who has more algorithms tracking your behavior patterns than you can even imagine. And believe me, they're not coming out on the short end of this. We've got about 85 people inside Ramsey that have a Ramsey debit card, like a company card. And so they spend it and it comes out of the account. And so the debit card does every single thing the credit card will do. And some debit cards even have points with them now. Some of them even have airline miles and stuff. But I'm not going to chase pennies with dollars. It doesn't, the logic of that, I get 2% back. So you spend $100,000 and you got $2,000. How does that equate to wealth? It doesn't. It's bad math. I don't borrow money, period. I've never borrowed any money since I went broke. And I built everything with organic cash along the way, 100%. It means I had to go slower than some people, and I'm not as big as some people, but I'm fine with that. I'm not going to lose it either. So the thing that we don't equate with debt hardly anywhere in our society or in this discussion is 100% of the time, debt equals risk. Little debt, little risk. Small interest rate debt, small debt, little risk. Big debt, big risk. But people don't think about it. They only talk about debt as if there's one possible outcome and it's a positive outcome. And we always laugh and say we've done detailed research and 100% of the foreclosures occur on a home with a mortgage. So if you want to destabilize your retirement, go into retirement with a mortgage. Think about it. Because, you're 80 years old now and you got a house payment. You're 78 years old and you got a house payment. This is not a plan. And again, referring back to that Millionaire study, we found basically two things that cause people to get their first $1 to $5 million in net worth. It was a well-funded retirement plan taking advantage of good mutual funds and compound interest, and that'd be $700,000-800,000 maybe after 10 or 12 years of working on it hard, and a paid off $500,000, $600,000, $800,000, $900,000 house. Those two things combined, the number of them that had paid off houses as a big component of their first $1 million was huge. There's a correlation between it and wealth building. It's the best way, obviously, to have a stable situation. And because the number of times I talk to someone that, they've got a mortgage and then they've run through their nest egg and now they got a mortgage and they're trying to figure out how they're going to support that. And so it's devastating. There's some urgency, but not panic. I love urgency because it gets people moving. It gets me to change. I like urgency in my own life. I think it's a good thing. So, let's just, again, the framework we always use, and you're aware of this, is the baby steps. And so we're going to make sure you're out of debt, have an emergency fund. Once you've done all that, then let's start socking some money away. Let's start putting 15% of your income away. If you're 40 years old, you make an average income, and you start putting 15% of your income away, plus or minus a match in a good Roth IRA and good mutual funds that give you market rates of return, you're going to be a multimillionaire easily in 25 years, and mathematically. And so, but you've got to do it. You can't just talk about it. It's not theory. The number one problem with retirement planning and retirement investing is not what people put money in. It's that they don't put money in. You got to put money in there for there to be some money in there. It's a pretty simple math thing. And so that's what you've got to gear up here is just get some urgency and we got to start socking some money away. We got to get this 401k jacked up, and we got to learn a little bit about this and have some motivation and quit spending like we're in Congress.
Well, it is cliche, but cliches come from truth. That it's the greatest time and the worst time in your life. You don't want to go back there.
No.
Good Lord, no. I don't want to
Never.
go back there. I went bankrupt. I lost everything in my 20s. I don't want to go back there. But the lessons that I learned from that pain were so thorough. Pain is a thorough teacher. It was a rich time. The fertilizer was everywhere. Lots of place to grow stuff, lots of poop. So, and that's what you had there in 2008. There weren't any jobs. You couldn't there was a contraction of the economy, a recession, and you are on your citrus couch. And so you found out that the secret sauce in your life is the guy in your mirror, that it's not some outside variable that's going to come and save you. The Calvary's not coming. Santa Claus doesn't live in Washington, D.C. It's up to you, baby. Get up off the couch. I got to go leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. You found that truth in that moment. I found that truth that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That old saying. I found that truth. And the thing is this, we all get wake-up calls. We get wake-up calls in our relationships, our spiritual walk, our leadership styles. We get wake-up calls in our finances. And some people, the phone's ringing off the hook right now. They're getting wake-up calls on a bunch of things. They're at home with their family, and they're starting to realize I was disconnected from my family. I haven't been plugged in. They got a wake-up call on their relationships at home. They've gotten a wake-up call on, I don't have any savings, and I'm deeply in debt. This isn't working. And so the cool thing is when you get the call, then you have to make the choice. Are you going to answer the phone? And if you pick the phone up, that means, baby, it's time to change. And you can look back, and you might be 27 years old right now watching this, and you're screwed. You lost your job. You got no money. You got no savings. You feel like it's all over. And I remember in 1970, I was 10 years old, and I was in my grandpa's backyard. We were tearing down an old deck, and I pulled some nails out of those old boards as we were taking the boards off. And he taught me to put them down and straighten them with the hammer and save those used nails in a coffee can. Now, my grandpa Ramsey was one of my favorite people on the planet. This is 1970, and he was still answering the phone that rang in the Great Depression. It changed his life. He was frugal and careful and wise with money the rest of his life. And so someday, 27-year-old, you're going to be sitting on the back porch with your grandkid, and you're going to remember back in 2020, there was the coronavirus, and it changed my life, and that you're going to be that guy. You're going to be giving dad jokes, and grandpa jokes, right? Like I am now. And you're going to get that opportunity. I was 28 years old when I lost everything. It was my fault. It was the S&L crisis. The banking climate changed. I'd built a house of cards. I was stupid. And the phone rang. It was my wake-up call. Are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to change your life where you say, never again? I'm going to control the controllables to where I'm the little pig in the brick house. Never again. That may be the only thing you get out of this crisis. And if it is, you got enough.